Okay. I want to talk about the Dacian Wars.
Okay.
I'm going
The
a
what
bit off the
wars?
beaten path from where you guys were.
The Dacian?
The Dacian Wars.
Dacian.
Yeah.
Okay.
You ever hear of this?
No, I don't think
Oh.
so.
I don't know it.
Okay.
Has anyone?
Yeah.
When's this from? Give me
First
some
century. First century
Oh,
AD.
you're going way back.
Yeah. So the Roman Emperor Domitian,
Loved Domino's.
the pizza or the game?
Both.
Probably.
It was named after.
Yes, he named himself.
This isn't Trajan?
I'll get to Trajan.
Okay.
Okay. So Domitian, he's kind of a stickler. Not really one of the good emperors. Micromanager type guy. But he's getting the empire is being raided by a guy named Decebalus in Dacia. Now, Dacia is out east. It's
Where?
modern day Romania.
Okay.
Okay.
So gypsies.
Yeah, kind of. No, they're like from the Far East.
Okay.
But yeah. So he sends 3 legions into Dacia to try and defeat Decebalus. And he loses.
Decebalus is such a cool name.
That is a good name. Decebalus is like
The
a
inventor
military.
of decibels. He discovers sound.
No. He's like a military strongman, tribal
Discovers.
leader guy. He's kind of like the first guy who's able to kind of tame that region. He's like
Like a Mongol
you could
guy.
compare him to like a Ba'athist today, like a Saddam.
Okay.
Like he's just like keeping the
Order.
craziness. Like he's gotten them together and put some order there. Like that region's just a fucking hellhole,
Yeah.
right? So Domitian's solution to this problem is why don't we just pay him off? So they start sending money to Decebalus and make him an official ally of Rome. And his job is to like be a buffer state between the tribes that they really don't like that are further north, like the Goths and all those people, the Germanics.
A buffer. Like that's why you need
Buffers.
that's why you need your parents in Florida while you're in New York. So you have all those other states as a buffer to keep your distance.
My parents are in Florida. I'm in New York.
Well, the other states are a buffer. You got to have a buffer.
Oh, that's Seinfeld. I thought you were doing Home Alone.
No.
You know, the joke was so bad, I think I instinctually knew it was Seinfeld. Like, there it is.
So Domitian dies. He's succeeded by Nerva. Nerva's an old man.
It's a good name, too.
Nerva's big contribution to history is that he adopts Trajan. Now, Trajan is one of the most celebrated emperors in Roman history.
Yeah.
He's a legend. After his reign, all future emperors will be
Compared to him.
when they get elevated to being the emperor, they get a ceremonial prayer that says, "May he be as lucky as Augustus and as good as Trajan." So
Doesn't he have like some Roman name that means like the best of the best or something like that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's like an honorific. So Trajan is a military man. He's a master of logistics. Like, he's the best at logistics.
Yeah.
And, military people will tell you that amateurs think about strategy, masters think about logistics,
Uh-huh.
or professionals think about logistics is really the quote. He's on the Rhine, and when he becomes emperor, he doesn't go back to Rome right away.
Okay.
He's like, I want to survey the territories and make sure everything's
Know what
up
I'm
and
dealing
up.
with.
So when he makes his way to Dacia, he realizes that the money that Rome has been sending to Decebalus is being used to build fortifications pointed at Rome. So Decebalus is essentially preparing to do war, to make war on Rome. Or in the case of Rome decides to make war on him, he's ready for them. He's building all kinds of forts and things. So Trajan takes note of this. He doesn't have the army with him right now to do anything about this. So he goes back to Rome, has all these, the ceremonies. He has I'm the new emperor. Nice to meet you. Makes nice with the Senate. The Senate love him.
He's the Optimus Princeps.
Optimus Princeps, yes. And he works with the Senate for the first, like, the Senate can be ignored, because they really don't mean
the
anything.
Senate.
But he makes them feel good about themselves, so they love him, and they do. He's much more hands-off than, like, the recent emperors.
Senate, you are so cool and
Yeah.
totally not fat.
Right.
Wow, he's the best.
So he asks them permission to invade Dacia. He's like, I got to do something about this before it gets done to me. And they grant it to him. So he goes to Dacia with 4 legions. And
How many men is that, roughly?
Oh, quite a lot.
Thousands,
That's like
I think.
40,000.
Okay,
Look
that's
it
a
up.
lot.
I don't know exactly. But remember, the problem here is that he doesn't trust Decebalus. It's not that he's trying to conquer the territory outright.
A Roman legion typically consisted of 5,000 to 6,000 soldiers.
Okay, so close to 40,000,
Yeah.
not quite. So he crosses the Danube, and he brings with him a guy named Apollodorus. Apollodorus is a Syrian, which is part of Rome. He's from Damascus. His name is Apollodorus of Damascus. He is one of the most celebrated engineers of all time.
Really?
Yes, and you'll see why in a minute.
Okay.
They cross the Danube, which is like the natural border, and he attempts to take down Apollodorus, and it doesn't work. They fight these grueling battles where both sides are getting hammered and like just tons of blood. And Decebalus's fortifications do their job.
They hold.
Yeah. So rather than letting this play out to its logical conclusion, Decebalus actually approaches Trajan and wants to surrender. So he makes peace with him. And part of the stipulations of that peace is that he has to destroy the forts. He has to give up some territory and make some sort of tribute.
Uh-huh.
So Trajan goes back. And while he's back in Rome, Decebalus bides his time. He was essentially doing a stall tactic.
Yeah.
He's like, okay.
Relax. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have WMDs. Come on. Yeah. He's Saddam.
So
in the South
Decebalus
Park movie.
starts using the local tribes to just raid Roman territory and just be a dick.
It's not me.
Yeah, right.
I'm not responsible for
Yes.
ISIS. This is just happening. Yeah.
So once Trajan gets wind, he's like, enough's enough. I got to take care of this guy. So, before he went back to Rome, he has Apollodorus build a bridge. It is called Trajan's Bridge. It is the longest bridge built in human history for 1,000 years after it.
Oh, wow.
It's the first ever bridge to cross the Danube. It's a wonder of the ancient world. It's got guard houses on both sides. And essentially it's there to say, don't fuck around. We can come back whenever we want.
Yeah. Is it still
Nice.
It was torn down by the Romans about 300 years later because the Emperor Aurelian, this is during the crisis of the 3rd century. I think it's a very bad time for Rome. But Aurelian decided that Dacia was too difficult a territory to defend from the northern tribes that he just abandoned it. So he destroyed the bridge and abandoned the territory.
It's like whatever happens,
never to be
happens.
reconquered.
Yeah.
And the Roman people that live there are the
Descendants.
Romanians.
Ah, okay.
So he builds his bridge, right? Trajan comes back, more legions with a mind to just destroy. So they do like a blitzkrieg. They attack multiple cities at the same time. Trajan himself personally leads the assault on the Dacian capital. Can't get through the city walls. So now they have to lay siege, and they realize that there's aqueducts that lead into the city to supply it. They destroy the aqueducts and essentially starve them.
They're
all.
trying the classic siege tactic.
Right. It works. Decebalus tries to flee. He gets hunted down by Roman agents and murders. He kills himself just before he
Gets
is
caught.
captured because he knows.
The old Hitler.
Yeah. So they cut his head off and send it back to Rome. It'll be put on display. Now, Dacia has the best gold mines in Europe, at least at this time.
Oh, okay.
And it is a huge boon to the Romans for
It's
for going forward. All of Rome's military will be funded by Dacian gold.
It's like you got
You just won the jackpot.
Yeah.
On top of that, and this I always found interesting. Decebalus, he controls the gold mines for years and years.
Yeah.
He has a giant treasure hoard, and he's hidden it under a river. He had a river diverted, buried the gold, like a mountain of gold.
That's pretty fascinating.
And then let the river rush over it again.
Yeah.
Now, this never would have been found, but one of Decebalus's generals, in order to win favor with Trajan, goes to him and tells him where it is.
How did the guy know?
He just knew. He was probably there when they dug it.
Yeah, he's probably in charge of it.
So Trajan has a personal treasure hoard that he brings back to Rome. They use all this money, Apollodorus, to just go wild in Rome, and they go on a building frenzy.
Yeah.
They build the giant new forum, which you've definitely seen before the forum is still standing.
Yeah, you could build everything.
And then
Fancy columns.
well, that's the final achievement is
Yeah.
Trajan's column. It's one of the most famous like Roman things in the city right now today, still standing. Trajan's column. It's a freestanding column. It's like 60 feet high, and it's got sculpture all over it that tells the stories of Trajan's wars.
Yeah.
Like,
Now, is it true you refer to your erection as
Trajan's column? Yes.
It's just as thick.
It was originally topped with a statue.
And actually has the entire history of Rome on his cock.
Mike Duncan. I have just a tattoo of Mike Duncan's face. But yeah, there's a statue of Trajan at the top of it for many years, but it was torn down and replaced with St. Peter at some point.
That's who's up there now?
Yeah. Yeah, that's my
Wow.
story. The Dacian Wars.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The story about the gold
Very cool.
is very cool. And-
That could be a movie.
Yeah, the guy who told him
Yeah.
is like, a part of him was like, if I just wait,
He could have got it.
I could come back and get this shit
Yeah.
and be like, one of the richest guys in Rome.
Better to be in good favor, though. Because if you're caught doing it and not saying anything,
Do you think he got a little? I like to think.
I'm sure he got.
he
I
got
hope
some.
Trajan hooked him up.
He
with
got a
something.
little
Yeah.
some. I'm sure his
Yeah.
life was good. Just a little taste, nothing crazy.
Just want to wet my beak.
Just
Yeah,
a little dip a toe in.
that's cool though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dacian
interesting.
Wars.
Definitely interesting story.
All right,